What's up, guys? Jacob Ober here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Khris Middleton, who in my opinion is the most underrated player in the NBA, and we're going to be comparing him to another NBA star, Klay Thompson, and why Khris Middleton and Klay Thompson are very similar players, but get very different attention from the national media. So, last season, Khris Middleton had the best year of his career, averaged 20.1 points a game, 5.2 rebounds a game, and 4.0 assists per game. Got absolutely no consideration when the All-Star voting came around last season. Got none. He was nobody last season when it came to the All-Star voting. I don't think, if you even asked an NBA fan who has watched the game pretty closely, he probably still wouldn't be able to know who Khris Middleton is unless he actually watched the Bucks on a regular basis, which is unfortunate because Khris Middleton, compared to a guy named Klay Thompson, who obviously plays on the Warriors, has been a perennial All-Star his entire career, gets a lot of national media attention, was an All-Star last year, but averaged less points, less rebounds, and less assists per game than Khris Middleton did last year. Klay Thompson averaged 20 points a game last year, 3.8 rebounds a game last year, and 2.5 assists per game last year. Compared to Middleton, he averaged 0.1 less points, which is, I mean, that's splitting hairs at that point. We'll just say they were pretty even in terms of scoring. But rebounding, he averaged 1.4 less rebounds a game than Middleton and 1.5 less assists per game than Middleton. He was a more efficient scorer, shooting 49% from the field and 44% from three-point land. Middleton shot 46% from the field and 36% from behind the arc. The unfortunate thing is, though, I mean, it's not even the fact that I do think that Khris Middleton had a better season last year than Klay Thompson, but it's not really even that fact. It's the fact that Khris Middleton wouldn't even really be mentioned in the same breath as Klay Thompson was last season, and that's really unfortunate because they were virtually the same players statistics-wise, and in fact, Khris Middleton was actually slightly better than Klay Thompson last year, yet he got zero recognition, zero consideration for the All-Star game, while Klay Thompson, playing on the Golden State Warriors, along with 3 other All-Stars, got all the attention. Why is Khris Middleton not getting the attention he deserves? Even now, as good as Middleton has been to open up the season thus far, over 3 games he's averaged 24 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 3.3 assists while shooting 58% from the field and 65% from behind the arc. And yet I still don't hear a whole lot about how good he's been. He needs to be an All-Star this year, especially if he keeps this up. But it's unfortunate that he might not be because of the fact that Milwaukee is such a small market and gets absolutely zero attention from the national media. And when they do, it's usually about Giannis, which, with good reason, obviously, Giannis is one of the best young stars in the game. But Khris Middleton, the guy has been phenomenal, especially in the playoffs last year, especially to start the season this year, and last year, obviously, averaging more points, rebounds, and assists than Klay Thompson, and yet getting zero recognition or consideration for the All-Star game, while Klay Thompson got everything. Klay Thompson was a more efficient player last year. I will give that to him. He does shoot the lights out of the building, although he hasn't thus far this season. In fact, he's only averaging 14.3 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a game, and 1.3 assists per game through 4 games for the Warriors, while only shooting 37% from the field and 13% from behind the arc. Obviously, Klay Thompson is not going to be that bad the entire year, but it just goes to show, I haven't heard anything about Khris Middleton this year. I mean, if I wasn't a Bucks fan, I wouldn't have heard anything about Khris Middleton thus far this year, and he has been shooting the lights out. But of course, a guy like Klay Thompson on the best team in the world, the Golden State Warriors, is probably going to get plenty of attention the moment that he has a more than spectacular game. It's just unfortunate. It really is, and it speaks volumes about the lack of parity in the NBA, how the NBA favors all of these really high-powered, well-known teams over the teams that are having better years or might be having better years, or the players that might be having better years, but they don't get the attention because they're just not popular. Khris Middleton is a very, very, very good basketball player, a very, very underrated basketball player who deserves to be an All-Star this year, especially if he keeps up the stat line that he has going. Like I said, he's averaging 24, 7, and 3 over the past 3 games, or the first 3 games to open up the season for the Bucks. If he keeps that up, those are absolutely All-Star numbers, and if he doesn't make it, then, I mean, that's just a travesty. It really is, and it was a travesty last year that he didn't make it as at least a reserve, averaging 20, 25, and 4. Like, I mean, come on, man. How has he not been an all-star yet? This guy has been good his entire career for the Bucks, and he's been really underrated his entire career for the Bucks. And now, hopefully, he's about to get the recognition he deserves, hopefully. But anyways, we have to see what happens thus far this year. But I showed you guys the statistics. Compared to Klay Thompson, I should say, Khris Middleton has been a better player over the past year than Klay Thompson has been. Yet we hardly ever hear about Khris Middleton when it comes from the national media. And Klay Thompson, obviously playing on the best team in the world, gets all the attention. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. I've been wanting to talk about something like this for a while now, and I had this thought last season when the season was still going on about Klay Thompson, you know, averaging less points, less rebounds, less assists than Khris Middleton. And I had that thought, and I was thinking, you know, I mean, Khris Middleton has been a lot better than Klay Thompson. We just never hear it from the national media or the national NBA coverage, you know. So I just thought I'd get that out there, make that known. Obviously, I am a Bucks fan, so I am a little bit biased. I didn't really take into account defense here, but, I mean, Klay Thompson isn't that much better of a defender than Khris Middleton. I mean, he's not like he's making all defense teams every single year. So, anyways, guys, so thanks for watching. Hopefully that enlightened you a little bit about the situation and showed you that Khris Middleton is actually a much better player than he is perceived to be. And if you are a neutral NBA fan or a person who has not really thought much about this, I hope this video kind of showed you just how substantial the difference in coverage is for these two players, and how Middleton has actually been slightly better than Klay Thompson over the past year, and yet you probably haven't heard much from him over the past year from the NBA. So anyways, guys, so thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time, and go Bucks.